Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So today I have an awesome exciting video to make, and this is about why I'm pretty sure Palantir has hit the bottom or is very close to the bottom. And I'm so certain about this that I'm highly considering going all in on my credit cards and buying Palantir or selling my kidney. So if you're interested in my kidney, comment below and I'll send you my email. But jokes aside, it's really an interesting time in the stock market, and I'm going to there's two reasons. By the way, if you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the new videos. So there's two main reasons why I think that Palantir is very close to the bottom, and one set of the reasons is macroeconomics, and the other one is company specifics. So on the macroeconomics, if you look at that, Palantir in January, just like many other growth stocks, was at its peak. The highest price it has ever traded at was $45. I don't envy the guy who bought at that price at that time. And since then, we are down to, by the way, 8% up today. Wow. So we're down to about $11, and this is 73% down from its high. So it's a crazy fall, right? And think about it, the macro market has been hit with every possible thing that it could be hit with. First, it was that the growth stocks got hammered, right? Then in this year, or actually December last year, the Fed started talking about rising interest rates, and the market went into correction. And there was a lot of fear with growth stocks. And this is like basically what you see here, this last leg of sell-off. And then just when you thought you were at the bottom, a freaking war broke out between Russia and Ukraine. And there's one thing that you need to keep in mind with, and this is why I'm so excited about this stock, is if you recall, or yeah, maybe you haven't seen it, but there's this legendary investor called Peter Lynch, and he talks about when a situation goes from catastrophe to very bad, the stock price goes up. If it goes from very bad to less bad, the stock price goes up. If it goes from bad to normal, the stock price goes up. If it goes from normal to really good, the stock price goes up, right? And if you look at the macroeconomics, where we are today. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that. So not only the war broke out, it was a war with an oil-producing country, Russia, where it looks like people are going to be sanctioning the oils, and the oil price has skyrocketed to unbelievable levels, which is going to create more inflation, and it's going to likely put the economy into recession if nothing is done about it. So the reason why this quote from Peter Lynch is important is because what is there more to hit the market with? I can't, unless another pandemic breaks out, which, okay, anything can happen, but I cannot foresee any event that could be more catastrophe than what it is now. So anything that happens from this point on, it will be the situation going from catastrophe to very bad. And then anything else that happens, it will be very bad going to bad. And think about it, in Palantir, the reason also why it's so interesting that it has fallen 73% is you don't need it to go back to 45 to make a lot of money. Like, imagine that if I bought at 11, and actually 2 days ago, I bought even more. So I cost average down on the buy. So I believe I'm up now nicely, or a little bit. But anyways, I don't care. I bought it for a 5-year viewpoint, right? But what's interesting is, if it goes just to 16, you made a lot of money. If it goes to 20, you made a lot of money. If it goes to 25, which is almost still 50% off, you made unbelievable money. It's like 2.5 times your money, right? So you need very little to make out like a bandit on this stock, right? And here's the interesting thing. So if you look at the macro, and you look at how there's an overall market sell-off, and then you start thinking, okay, how does Palantir get affected by the high oil price or the high commodities price? It doesn't get affected at all, okay? Because Palantir is a software company, they work with artificial intelligence. And then, then you go, do their customers, maybe their customers get affected and they have less money to buy. But the thing is that Palantir's, I believe, average revenue per client was $6.5 million last year. Don't quote me on this. I might be off a little bit, but it was in the millions, right? So it's not for small companies. It's for, you know, S&P 500 companies. They're selling to governments, and I mean, the governments, they can unlimitedly print money. And the big companies, the funny thing is, not only are their customers not affected, they need Palantir product more to navigate out of the situation, right? So then we look at the war with Russia and Ukraine. Okay, how does Palantir get affected by this? Well, Palantir has hit some resistance in selling products in Europe, but because, you know, Palantir is an American company, and then they process European top secret data, you know, there's understandably some natural skepticism. But guess what? Now the European governments need this data to be able to handle the current scene that is with Russia. So that's actually a headwind for Palantir. So if you look at these headwinds, it's so interesting to see when these things happen and the stock price drops. It's like, really, I don't know, it's like somebody is you're in a candy store, and then you're like, oh my god, give me more, give me more, give me more. So you actually should be very excited about the price of Palantir dropping. And now here's the very interesting thing, where it's also a catastrophe. You know, if you look at the investor viewpoint on the company fundamentals. So many people were really afraid of Palantir because they're losing money, right? But I believe that here the company is just completely misunderstood, because they have this stock-based compensation, and if you look at their in their Q4 results, they actually generated positive cash flow. I believe it was like $400 million while paying back a $200 million loan. So it was almost, if you don't take the loan into account, then it was almost $600 million of free cash flow that was generated in last quarter. But according to bookkeeping rules, when you give stock-based compensation to your employees, you have to take that as a minus in your bookkeeping. So it's not a cash item. The company didn't pay any money to the employees. And this leaves us with this funny thing that there is more money at the bank account, but according to the bookkeeping, the company has made a minus. But it's only in the bookkeeping, and this is a fantastic possibility for us as investors, because this is going to go away. If you listen to their earnings call, Alex Karp said that the stock-based compensation is going to normalize. Now, I don't believe it's going to normalize in the next quarter, but it is going to go away. Then Alex Karp, again the CEO, if you listen to the earnings call, he said that historically, when there has been very uncertain times in the world, it has been a tailwind for the company. For example, in the financial crisis in 08 and 09, they were getting full of customers, and I believe that they are going to be getting full of customers again. So this also benefits them. And then, I mean, I touched on this a little bit, that if you look at the world now, with the crazy inflation, with the Russia-Ukraine situation, the companies actually need their product more. So it's like even the demand for their product has gone up more. So we are in this funny situation that every angle you look, this is a fantastic stock. And I almost wish that the stock price would go down more. I mean, if it would hit the tens, I would probably be selling my kidneys to be able to buy more stocks. But as always, I'm interested in what you think. What stocks are you buying? And do you agree with me, or do you think I'm crazy? And make sure you do your own research, you subscribe to the channel, and you only invest in stuff that you understand. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.